It's hard for me to keep quiet. I want to free these refugees. I now have a raging struggle to continue working in Cambodia, helping its people recover. I know from this moment on, my life is going to change.
For the next few days, I lock myself in my room. My mother brings me food, but no one says a word to me about what had happened, and I speak to no one. In my country, women do not talk about such degrading things with others. I knew of 3 other rapes before mine. One woman complained to the police, but they dismissed her case. Another stayed home and never mentioned it again. And the 3rd woman killed herself. She swallowed a bottle of pesticide right there. Is that what I should do? I asked myself. But in my heart, I know that no one in my family really wants me to die. Especially my mother. I can see it in her eyes. I can feel in her touch that my pain is hers, and she suffers along with me. But if I don't kill myself, what will I do with my life?
All the time in the refugee camp, I dreamed to go to school, to learn to be a doctor, like my father. But we couldn't go outside the tent, or they might kidnap us or sell us to the warlords. Finally, I am so happy when I hold my first book in a refugee school. It is coming to me from the University of Nebraska.
5 bullets and 5 weapons is equal to 25 bullets. The orange color is the rocket and the blue color is the stinger. The green is the Kalashnikov.
Answer these questions in your notebooks. If one Mujahid kills 4 Russians, how many Mujahid wake up, pray and then go and fight and kill the Russians? What do you think about the Russians? Draw an airplane bombing on your house.
Here you see the house is burning, the man is hurt and the children are fearful from the fire.
The man is master of the house.
Everybody else is a servant.
Yes.
A man should punish his wife in order to make her more obedient.
Don't beat her on the face, because then you won't be able to show her in public.
Don't beat her on the stomach if she's pregnant.
Especially with swings.
Use the whip rather than a stick, because it'll be more painful, and she will learn her lesson better.
After you beat her, be sure to show her more love, because then she'll learn the lesson more deeply and appreciate your love.
Yes. Wise man.
Therefore, he loves you. Since the 16th century, it has been an excuse.
My father left our little room when I was only 3, but I always loved him with all my heart. He was very emotional like me, you see, a handsome man, brave and strong looking. But there was always trouble in his life, women, drinking, the usual. When I was 12 years old, my father came to our house. I have a new woman, he says. He tells my mother, I am going to introduce you to her. But don't say you are my wife, only that you are the mother of my 2 children. And my mother said, see. When he bring the woman to our home, my mother say, I am only the mother of his children. We have no relations. I was very angry. You both are going to be punished for this because you are not saying the truth, I tell them.
Marina.
Yes?
The entrance to your apartment is very dark.
Excuse me? Who are you?
Aren't you afraid what this is going to do to you and your family?
Who are you?
I'm someone who was affected by your work.
Did I help your wife? Your girlfriend?
It doesn't matter. I know where you live. I know everything about you.
Why are you calling?
Aren't you afraid that your son is alone in the streets?
He knows about my son.
Aren't you afraid for your son?
I feel as if someone has struck a knife in my heart.
I know where you live.
It goes on for months.
Aren't you afraid that your son is alone
I don't
in the
allow
street?
Peter to pick up the phone in the house.
Aren't you afraid?
My parents pick him up from school. And
Aren't you afraid?
he goes to a friend's house, but he is never alone. I am afraid to enter the apartment.
The entrance to your apartment is very dark. If someone were to stick a knife in your back, or worse, a needle.
Sometimes I just pray that the elevator to the first floor would come fast, so I can just run in and go.
You will never know who did it.
Men, very strong, come into my office looking for me. They wear suits and coats to cover their guns. We are looking for Annabella. She is on the list. We know her death date.
I received death threats. The government revokes my passport, forbids me to leave the country, places me under house arrest.
My car is surrounded by soldiers, paratroopers. My door flung open, I'm pulled out and thrown over the car and is screaming, who am I? What am I? What am I carrying?
The police began stalking me all the time. Molestando, stop your car!
One of them sticks a large gun hard between my legs and calls me a fucking bitch.
President Musharraf states, since the Mukhtara Mai case, all a woman has to do to become a millionaire is get herself raped and tell the press about it.
300 women set themselves on fire in Herat.
3 brothers burned their sister-in-law alive because they claim she was unfaithful.
My advisor is tortured. They break his fingers, burn his hands, take his eyes out and strangle him.
A teenage girl's nose is cut off to punish her for holding hands with a boy from a neighboring tribe.
Her husband pours acid on her face, the side of her neck, and he takes her children from her. Then the family says, we do not want her, she's not one of ours.
The woman covers up the baby's body with her hands, but her husband keeps beating her. She asks for a divorce, but he says, you must forgive me, or I will kill you, and I will tell everyone that you ran away with another man, and they will believe me.
Children who are only 6 are married off. She will have many children without a midwife. If she has abused, she has no choice. Forever, she will be the wife of that same family. You can come out of the house when you are dead.
Ha, my God! I wouldn't care if I had to die in this fight. I have plenty of powerful enemies. Because those who fight corruption don't make many friends. Ja, sometimes I feel the sorrow, but I feel proud I am a congresswoman. I feel proud too that I am not dead.
At the end of the day, my father gave his life, and I think that is a very powerful message to give to people who feel disempowered. That there is no price too high to pay to let you know that there is sanctity in your voice. Nobody can violate who you are. Nobody can control who you are. You are nobody's slave. You have a right to determine how you are governed. You have a right to speak for yourself. And my mother, because she refused to stand for injustice in Nigeria, because of that, her spirit will forever live on.
Now that I am far away from my home, I still think, how can we do nothing? When we know the people suffer, and I dream that I'm walking with my children on the east and most remote part of my country, where there is no road. The elder women say to me, Farida, you do not have to wear your burqa here. The women are coming out to solve things. Inside the village, we are very safe. And I dream of little bits of paper in a basket. As I reach for them, I see that there are prayers for me. So many women praying that I will not die, that I will escape what has come to harm me, to break my very heart. Like the black wind before the sun, I read each prayer and my strength comes back, and this is how we will survive.
I have opened 3 schools in Punjab province, and they are for boys as well as for girls, because boys too must learn that under Islam, under the law, women have the same rights they do. And in Meerwala, where I almost killed myself, I have built a real schoolhouse with a library and 6 classrooms. The children come from many tribes, from low and high castes, girls from the Gujars, and yes, we even have boys from the Mastuis.
My uncle has an image of me when I was 3 years old, and he bought me a large bunch of red balloons. I go outside the house, I'm surrounded by friends, and I give each of them a balloon until I'm standing there without a balloon. And I look at him, and he looks at me with this question in his eyes. What are you doing? He says, you looked at me with your big eyes and asked me, Uncle, will you bring me more balloons? And he says, at that point, I was ready to buy you anything, and you were happy.
I wake up early in the morning. I take the shower and go to the beauty parlor. Not for vanity's sake. My appearance is important, because I must have a good face for lost pueblos who are looking at me to speak out for them. How do you like my dress? It is a traditional dress, very beautiful, all handmade in Guatemala. Our candidate for Miss Universe, she wear this dress. She didn't win, but this dress won first award. I will wear it when I sing in the National Theatre tonight to raise money for the sick children in the hospital.
I was the first student in my own school, and now I am in the 5th grade there. For the rest of my life, I will never use my thumb to sign my name on my homework or on anything. Mukhtara, powerful, self-respecting. Mukhtara.
We have a Farsi proverb. We say, however high the mountain is, it must have a way on the top that you can reach it.
We shouldn't be resting, shouldn't be thinking we've tried our best. That only means that we have not tried hard enough. Women are the greatest untapped resource of the world. We are the greatest untapped resource of Africa. We are the future.
If you put equal rights at the heart of things, you have to be sure everyone is at the table. You have to look and see who isn't there, who isn't being hurt, and use your power to change that.
Every day I see a woman, whether she serves beer in a beer garden, a sex worker, or a garment worker. They're my sisters, my friends, my teachers. When people say, how can you wake up and still do this after 25 years? I say you have to do this until all those people who do not have a voice do.